Welcome everyone. This is Yvonne Davis and David Steele. We're accredited facilitators with Rocky Mountain Compassionate Communication Network. And you are joining us for Unleash Your Creativity, a blending of The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron and Nonviolent Communication by Marshall Rosenberg. So we're in week 10 and David is going to talk about the relevance of the left and right hemispheres of the brain.
So what's the theme of week 10?
Okay, so week 10 is recovering a sense of self-protection.
Okay. So we've talked about addiction and distractions. Self-protection is back here at the, if this is your spinal column, and you've got your amygdala here surrounded, or your limbic system, which is the mammalian part of the brain, surrounded by the cortex, which is the wrinkly part. Quick, very quick anatomy lesson. When the amygdala in our limbic system, which is responsible for keeping us safe, it's constantly looking around. Am I safe? Am I safe? Am there danger? Am I danger? Am I danger? Danger, danger, danger. Safe, 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 safe. And do I belong? Do I matter? Do I belong? Do I matter? Because if there's a huge part of our nature that is hurting part of our nature. So that's what it's constantly doing. Am I safe? Do I belong? Do I matter? Am I safe? Am I safe? Do I belong? Do I matter? Do I matter? And that part of our brain is not really time aware. It just is always in the present. So when it senses danger, and that danger can be a story in our head, like what I say doesn't matter, or, oh my God, the world is falling apart. The amygdala can still respond to that. And it floods the brain with cortisol, which shuts down a lot of the brain so that our attention and energy can go to our muscles and our blood flows, so that our body is ready to take protective action, whether it's flight, fight, or freeze. My tongue is twisting today. Twisting tongue. Peter Pepper picked pickled peppers. Pecker, peppers. Peter Pepper picked pickled peppers. Where's the peck of pickled peppers? Peter Piper picked. So I just went into my right brain there for a moment. I'll circle back around to that.
Unfortunately, my right brain was ready to respond to that, and I thought it was funny.
Oh. So when if we can soothe the amygdala and connect it with the prefrontal cortex, especially on the right brain, then it begins to have a sense of safety and it calms down. And so when we're talking about recovering a sense of safety, I just compressed about a 20-minute lecture into 2 minutes. When we talk about recovering a sense of safety, we're talking about integrating the left brain and the right brain, getting them talking together, and also getting the spine stem, which is the reptilian brain, the limbic system, the mammalian brain, and the cortex, which is the individual, the human, getting them all communicating together, because that's where our sense of safety comes from. And that's what artistic expression is all about. So often we get an inspiration, which is right brain, and then we have to get into our left brain to figure out what the logistics are to bring that inspiration into physical manifestation. So the right side of the brain is all about relationship. It's big picture. It's surfing the wave. The left side of the brain is all about tactics and steps, kind of machine-like, cause and effect, what has to happen. And how do I stay balanced on the surfboard? So much of what we do, and when we talk about searching for strategies, we do with the right brain. And
I thought the strategies was the left brain.
I mean, with left brain, thanks. Yeah, much of what we do, we search for strategies and stuff. It's the left brain, which is marching on towards progress, whatever that is. And its job is to handle the mechanics of staying alive and being safe, so that the amygdala can just groove. And so the right brain is all about relationships, how I fit into the big picture, what the overarching thing is, like I said, catching the wave. And it takes both to create. So, and particularly in our culture, it tends to be very left-brained. Like we look at medicine, we look at the human body as a machine and tinker with this and tinker with that, take a pill, adjust, adjust this, adjust that. Whereas if you look at Oriental medicine, it's much more holistic. Is there too much heat in the body, too much cold? Does it need movement? Does it need stillness? And so the reason I'm bringing this up is the left brain, which is devoted to handling logistics of handling life, kind of needs to get marching orders from the right brain, which is where our inspiration, our sense of purpose comes from. And when there's trauma in us, when there's emotional scarring, which we all have because we're human, and generally it starts at age 6, the right brain can become very tangled and kind of like, and the left brain says, oh, that noise is driving me nuts. I don't know what to do about it because I don't understand relationships. And the right brain is going, oh, and the left brain is going, go away, go away, go away. And so to soothe itself, the left brain distracts itself. It plays video games. We do drugs because we want to calm that sense of discomfort that is living in our right brain, because we don't know what to do with it, because it's not an ABC, do step A leads to step B and you'll have a result of step 3 at phase 3. That's not how the right brain works. The right brain just kind of grooves, and then stuff just appears in it from out of nowhere. So we can be in a relationship with someone that feels good and we don't analyze it's because they wear their hair a certain way and step like this and all of that. It's like, whoa, I just looked into that person's eyes and, well, it felt great. Hey, I want more of that. That's the right brain speaking. Whereas the left brain might be saying, well, I need a blonde. Brunettes just don't excite me. That would be a very left brain way of looking at stuff. So bringing our right brain online and understanding our relational being. That's why we're blending the NVC, which is very much a technology to awaken or soothe or bring the right brain out of the into a oh kind of thing that's very relaxed and spacious instead of constricted, so that it brings ease to the left brain. So I just wanted to point out that there's a physiological basis for all of our distraction, which manifests as addiction, as playing video games, as getting caught up in politics and all of that, because it is a way for us to tune out the right brain if we don't know what to do about it. If we do know what to do about it, there was a drug addiction program that I heard about. This was in maybe the early 2000s, and it was being run in Boston, and it was one of the most successful programs for keeping kids off of drugs. This was at the time, no, it was in the 80s, because it was the time when DARE was there, Just Say No, which is totally left brain. Just say no. I'm not going to do drugs, just say no. What this program did is it started with kids in 3rd grade, and then in 5th grade, and then in 7th grade. And in 3rd grade, they started talking about the pressures they felt at school and the pressures they felt at home. And, the consequences or the fears that they have from the consequences of their action, what they're trying to figure out. And they hit it again in 5th grade with a little bit more awareness of home and family, and then in 7th grade. And what the result was is they built the relational skills so that when there was peer pressure to take drugs, they could say no, because they didn't have that insecurity of I need to belong, because they had practice checking in with themselves, figuring out what's going on in their lives, what's important to them, and making decisions based on that. Of course, it was a very expensive program. It wasn't just the DARE program. You just bought a bunch of posters, plastered them on the school. It was very light on the budget. This program, which was shown to work, was like 3 weeks of having a hired person there, taking time out of the prepare for test day, and in each of 3 years. So, and it got results. So the left brain is the one that's like, more money will keep me safe. Oh, I need more money, more. Oh, look at those numbers. Oh, look at all those numbers. I must be great. There's like 7 numbers there now. Hooray. And the right brain doesn't really relate to that. The right brain is just more, am I feeling good? You know, how am I getting along with people? Is there meaning? Is there purpose in my life? And so integrating the two, because it takes both. You know, it takes that mechanical, logistical sense to make stuff happen, and it takes the inspiration that gives birth to the ideas so that we know what we want to make happen. So that is, to recap really quickly, that sense of safety. It starts by soothing the amygdala, by bringing about right and left brain, bring about light and left brain connection, so that the amygdala doesn't feel alone, and getting the right and left brain talking to each other so that the right brain develops a sense of spaciousness and inspiration, and the left brain then has compelling marching orders about what it is that we want to accomplish. And when all of that happens, then thanks to the Artist's Way and NVC, we become wonderful, miraculous beings and realize that really we have always been as wonderful as we suspected we were, but didn't dare to believe it. But now we know it's true, so we can revel in it. How's that? Your turn.
Okay. So I guess what I would say is, like, that's a wonderful right brain, like, broad overview, the big picture, and helps us to understand also, like, what might be going on more deeply within ourselves as to why we sometimes choose distraction and addiction and crises and drama and all these things. Is because our right brain does not have an organized pattern with which to communicate with the left brain and back and forth. So just, you know, because we have limited time here, I'd like to then now go from the big picture into the left brain and offer some strategies like this program, The Artist's Way. So I think that's why Julie Cameron suggests the daily journaling, because the daily journaling is a way to connect with yourself. It's all about self-connection. And that's why when you write in your journal, you're not trying to accomplish anything. You know, you actually want to get past the left brain critic and just pour those thoughts out. Just keep your hand moving for however long it takes, you know, if you put aside that time. And I think the art and the artist's date are also ways to connect to that natural right brain that is our child artist self. When we're self-connected, we're really connected with our right brain, and we've let go of the left brain, the left brain that wants to do marching like a soldier. So so yeah, I just wanted to kind of bring us back to those tools of journaling for self-connection, not for any purpose, just to connect with the self, see what's going on deep inside, no judgment, just observation. And the artist's date, which is all about play. There's no requirements there. That's total right brain, is just to play and enjoy yourself and connect with yourself. And the third was to do your artwork, because for the same reason that you do your artist's day and your journaling, is to self-connect, to activate that right brain. And then to connect in relationships. So that's why we do the weekly check-in calls is so that we can connect in relationship and we can be seen for who we are without judgment. And I think that's also the fundamental reason why we do nonviolent communication, is so that we can learn to observe without judgment and to connect with our feelings and needs, which is very right brain. And all of these things are really about self-connection and learning that we are safe in the world, and that we can, that part of us can come out and be seen in a way that is safe.
Cool. So I have a little example. So I'm sitting about why we need both the right and the left brain. So I'm sitting here talking, saying my flowery phrase, and I get into my kid-like brain. I'm having a lot of fun, and then I just wipe my nose, and then my left brain goes, "Did you just wipe your nose on camera? Oh my God, people are watching. You shouldn't be doing that." And it's like, if the left brain had been a little bit stronger, I wouldn't have just done it. I just did it automatically because I was feeling so playful because I was so far in my right brain.
Mm-hmm.
But so it takes both. It takes the balance.
Yeah, and it's interesting too, because that's what I was saying, is like feeling safe enough to just show up exactly the way you are. It's not that we don't. It's not that we don't also need the left brain, because it figures things out, and it gets things done. But like, for example, these videos, if we didn't make decisions like, okay, what time are we going to sit down and make the videos, and we need to do all this stuff, and get it uploaded and get it sent to people, and plan the weekly call. That's all the left brain stuff. Get stuff done.
Yeah, that's productive. Very important.
Right.
It is very important.
Yeah, but we don't want to live there all the time.
No,
it's not a happy place.
I can't live there all the time.
Yeah. Alrighty. So does that sum it up for today?
Bye-bye, chapter 10. Oh, I will miss you.
Yeah.
Only 2 to go. Oh, and you still get to do your check-in, so it's not bye-bye chapter 10 for you.
Well, I think I would say we're done making videos for week 10, and so all that's left is to do our check-in for this week. So I hope that you enjoyed it and learned a lot this week. We certainly did. It was quite amazing. And we will see you again next time. Bye-bye.